Whether you're eyeing a bunch of jewelry pieces or you're thinking to buy your loved one a jewelry piece, these are the 10 tips that nobody has really told you about. Starting with a mindset that seems to be true, but there could be flaws. That is, the more expensive the piece is, or the more precious the stone, the metal is, the longer lasting the jewelry piece will be. But there is a big distinction between a metal or material that is durable, meaning standing the test of time, being water resistant, scratch resistant, etc., and a piece of material that is precious, meaning it is rare to find. The perfect example is precious stones. If you are also eyeing the VCA bracelet like everyone and their mother is, I do have the dupe version of this. And the reason that I haven't decided to splurge on the piece, and I don't think I ever will, is that a lot of the colored stones are quite precious in that they don't recommend you to wear these stones to wash your hands in the shower, in the pool. So if you're like me who just doesn't want to be bothered to take off their jewelry pieces every time they're in water or touching water, then those precious stones are not for you. I do really love the VCA designs, but I just cannot think to spend thousands of dollars on a piece that I still have to baby and worry about it getting water damaged or scratched. I just go for the dupe version, and I'm not too worried if this tarnishes one day and I have to replace it. Along the lines of quality, you will always hear jewelers or brands telling you that our jewelry is made from sterling silver, super thick coated layer of gold vermeil. Well, these are all true statements and they seem to imply high quality, which they do compared to, let's say, gold-plated piece or silvery color but non-sterling silver pieces. Do note that certain types of metal, like sterling silver, like gold vermeil, require polishing, which means if you fail to polish them once in a while, they will turn black. They will go dark. Doesn't mean that they are completely tarnished and cannot be fixed. It just means you do need to give them a little bit of TLC once in a while. Case in point is my sterling silver bracelet from Tiffany. I have not worn this in a hot minute because every time I wear sterling silver, I am lazy, so I don't take off these pieces every day, which means they just get darkened after, I would say, a few weeks, sometimes a few months. So what I found helpful is I just store them in these, I mean, they're not airtight, but like enclosed enough containers, individual containers. Definitely would not recommend mixing your sterling silver with really any other jewelry pieces so that they can be as airtight as possible. And this will make them at least not tarnish when you're not wearing them. But I feel like every time after wearing them for a little while, I do have to polish my sterling silver as well as gold vermeil. The polishing is really easy. Usually the jewelry packaging comes with the polishing cloth. You simply just need to kind of rub off the darkening bits. But I will say that if you have gone a long time without polishing your pieces, it could take a while to carefully rub off every single bit of darkness. So unless you have the patience to polish your pieces, I would avoid metals like sterling silver or gold vermeil. The silver alternatives could be stainless steel, could be white gold, and the gold vermeil alternative would be investing into solid gold pieces, or you can just buy the gold-plated pieces and replace them a little bit more often. Speaking of solid gold doesn't necessarily equal sturdiness. You've probably heard of sayings like 24K gold, 18K gold, 14K gold. This carat measure of gold is essentially the percentage of pure gold in this solid gold alloy that you're buying. It's usually a majority percentage of gold plus some other metal alloy to make your piece sturdy, because pure solid gold is really soft. It's really prone to scratches, will break easily. I actually have I don't know if it's 24 or 22 or 20K solid gold bracelet that is really beautiful. It definitely gives you the VCA vibes, but it broke as I was, I think, putting on my sweater or something. So just because something is solid gold, you do have to pay attention to the carat measure. The higher the carat number is, the more yellow the piece is, and the softer the pieces, which means more prone to breakage. So the sweet spot for solid gold pieces, in my opinion, would be either 14K gold if you want that yellow golden hue of the metal, or 10K gold if you prefer that lighter yellow color, which will also save you money because that means it is a lesser percentage of gold in the alloy. Just like gold pieces could be different shades of yellow, I personally didn't know that silvery pieces could be different shades of gray / silver. I mean, yes, it makes sense when you think about it, but for a very long time, I personally thought sterling silver, white gold, stainless steel, these are all the same type of silver. This is my Tiffany sterling silver bracelet. I will say sterling silver does have the probably shiniest hue of silver amongst all. As you can see, it catches the light really beautifully. This is a stainless steel ring, which you can see it has almost like a blackish gray as compared to something that's shiny as sterling silver. I also have this Trinity ring from Cartier that's got white gold. I will say that white gold will turn darker over time. So to compare the three, sterling silver is the shiniest, stainless steel is the darkest, and white gold starts off being quite shiny and light in color, but over time it does darken. There's also the option of platinum, which is the most durable when you compare sterling silver, stainless steel, white gold, and platinum. So if you want something that is an everyday piece you plan to wear for a very long time, for example, your engagement and wedding rings, and if you like that silvery color, I would recommend going for the platinum. And I also like that the silverness, the shine, never goes away with time. And it never darkens in color. When you're buying rings, please pay attention to the season, the climate that you're buying such ring. Our hands will naturally get swollen, meaning bigger, when it is more humid and hotter in climate. So if you, for example, live in a very hot climate all year round, then this doesn't apply to you. You can just buy your ring at any time of the year and they will fit you at any time of the year based on where you live. But if you live through any sort of seasonal variance, your fingers will be smaller in the wintertime and bigger in the summertime. The ring size could even vary. For me, I say usually half a size. If I'm buying it in the summer, then I really don't want this ring to be too loose because guess what? When winter rolls around, it's gonna be too big that it will just fall off my finger. Brands will never tell you that jewelry pieces are simply pieces of metal that you can totally play around with. I know there are brands like Ideal or Idol who brands themselves as modular jewelry. Yes, I do really appreciate that they encourage people to turn different pieces of jewelry into other purposes. Like you could have a little dangling thing for your hoop. You can also use that as a pendant on your necklace or put that as a charm on your bracelet. But also, if you think about it, bracelets are naturally being able to connect it into necklaces. If you combine 2 to 3 bracelets, you will just have a piece of necklace. Necklaces can just be wrapped around your arm a couple of times to be a layer bracelet. I actually have a dedicated video about some of these jewelry hacks. So when you are buying your next jewelry piece, don't just look at what this piece is being described as. If you're buying a ring, for example, yes, it's a ring, you can use it as a ring, but it's also a pendant. You can totally just loop it on an existing necklace. You'll have a pendant necklace. Speaking of pendant necklaces, the point of pendant necklace is so that you can adjust, add to your necklaces. So if you have a pendant necklace that you quite like the chain of, you don't have to buy 5 pendant necklaces for the pendants. You can, a lot of times brands will just sell the pendant itself, or you can go on to websites like Etsy to look for those really special and fun and unique pendants to build your own pendant necklace. Especially because how popular pendant necklaces are, you really can DIY pretty much any pendant necklace into your own version of the pendant necklace. I have this pendant necklace from Ana Luisa that comes with this heart locket. And then I also got this little Chanel charm as part of their holiday, I think holiday makeup collection. I just got this as like part of the packaging for my palette. And I was like, wait a second, this is just can be so easily used as an actual pendant on a necklace. So now I have a little unique pendant necklace look that is also making use of the random bits that I got from packaging. So definitely look around you. The pendants don't also need to be designed as pendants. There are many things that you can attach to an existing necklace to make it a pendant necklace. I know those really dainty permanent bracelets have been popular for a while, but every time I see people wearing permanent bracelets, I always wanted to ask them, like, does your knitwear never get caught? Because it always happens to me, especially with like really dainty pieces that is just so easily catching your knitwear, and especially fluffy knitwear. I mean, for the most part, it doesn't really matter because you can hardly see it, but I feel like you should know this. You should know that if you are wearing something that's super, super dainty, especially a bracelet, just know that you might not actually be able to wear it year-round because in the winter time, A, nobody's gonna see your dainty bracelet, and then B, it might get caught in your knitwear. The weight of the jewelry should also factor into your buying decision, especially with earrings. I have this pair of really fun beaded earrings that I got from Zara years ago. I was only able to wear it maybe a couple of times because it's quite heavy, and it's also got like a bit of a kind of attaching mechanism, because I think if you simply just use the regular post, it'll just like dangle off your ear. So they added this like securing mechanism, and it also just pinches on my ear a little bit. So while it is extremely fun and pretty, I will never get rid of this pair of earrings because it's just so fun. It's not the most practical. So keep that in mind when it comes to the weight of jewelry, especially if you're buying a piece that you want to wear more often, then maybe avoid the super heavy one. Think really hard the next time you buy what you think is going to be an everyday jewelry piece. If it's an everyday necklace, are you really not going to be bothered when you're wearing this necklace all day long, including your sleep, including it might be get tangled around your neck, including maybe you sometimes accidentally grabs onto it and it scratches onto something. To me, if an everyday earring is not flat back, I just simply won't buy it because I can't stand the back of the earring kind of poking through me when I'm sleeping sideways. Plus, there's a higher chance that the earring may fall off. So for my everyday earring, I always just wear flat backs or enclosed small hoops so that they're really, really comfortable to sleeping. For your everyday bracelet, are you actually gonna wear bracelet every single day? Especially if you do a lot of chores, are they gonna be in your way when you do chores or when you are typing on your computer, when you are working? Just try to picture yourself wearing the everyday jewelry in all your everyday settings. And if you're fine, and if you're happy to wear such piece at any occasion, any scenario, every day, then it will be a good purchase. I would love to know what is your biggest concern when buying jewelry pieces. What worries you most? What's something that you feel like people don't talk enough about? Please leave in the comments below and maybe I'll make a dedicated video addressing all of your jewelry concerns.